Good morning. We're just going to give it a few minutes as per usual. I should have filled up my water when I had my breakfast, but what you gonna do? Bad boys, what you gonna do? I've been like on and off channeling that song for like a month. I don't know why. Good morning, everyone. Did you ever connect with Hecate? Kinda, sorta, but not really, if that makes any sense. Like, I've invoked her, I think that's how you say that, for a couple of spells, but I've never actually really done my research. Don't do that. I usually practice what I preach, but like there was some sort of a spell I was doing and I kept hearing her name. And I do have like kind of some knowledge on her, so it's not like I was going in blind, but you should always do research before you work with anyone. All right, let's see. What are we... Immediately I'm pulled to this. I also need to put on my glasses, y'all. There we go. I can see. So I think we're just going to do a general reading today. Take it however it resonates. I also might have someone unexpectedly ring my doorbell while we are streaming, and I might have to stop what I'm doing and go let them into my house. They were supposed to be here at 10:30. It's 11:04, so I'm gonna guess that they are either not showing up or they're late. And that's okay. All right. So, first of all, I was pulled to this one. Whoop. Be cool if I could, like, properly show it to you. As a lot of y'all know, this is the Prism Oracle. So this connects to your emotions, what you're feeling. I don't know why I'm hearing what you're feeling to healing. I don't know. Before we get into it, I do want to remind everyone that if you have a Prime membership, so an Amazon Prime membership, and you choose to subscribe to my Twitch, you actually will be able to subscribe through your Prime membership, but you will have to renew it every month. Also, subscribing does really help support me. It helps me to, be able to do more streams for you guys in the future. So I don't want to push y'all to do it, but I deeply appreciate if you do sub. Also, watching the ads pays me as well. So even if you don't subscribe, watching those ads helps me additionally as well. And the more you guys support this page, the more we will start streaming more frequently. But I digress. I would like to include like a weekend or an afternoon stream or even an evening stream for some people, because I know not everybody has the same work schedule. Anyway, I'm going to start with this, and then, I don't know, we're just kind of going to, for those of you that are new here, first of all, welcome. I'm glad you could join us, but we typically kind of just go with the flow of the energy for these, so that's what we're going to be doing. Mystery. I'm sorry my lighting sucks. It's on my to-dos to buy better lighting. But the problem is I have limited space. Protection. Those are both purple. One's like a bright purple and one's like a darker purple. And then we have Intuition, another purple card. And then we have Pain as the bottom of the deck energy, which just immediately made me think of pain. Na, 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 na. 3 days grace. Please remember that your brain will associate things with things it knows, so it could just be that simple. I will put the name of the song in the chat. Pain without love, pain, can't get enough. I haven't heard that in so long. Is it 3 days grace? Yes, it is. You have your hair in braids today too? Love that. Great minds think alike or whatever. I just was too lazy to do my hair today, I'm going to be honest. So, because there's such a purpley theme going on here, I do feel like there could be something about crown chakra energy that's important for this collective. Some of y'all are like moving through some sort of crown chakra blockage. I also don't know why, but this is kind of really giving me like a lock energy. Do y'all see that? Like a locker. It's like a lock on a lock. Which just made me think of that TV show Lock and Key. Fun fact, that was actually filmed where I was from. Well, kind of from. Where I grew up. It was filmed in Lawrencetown. Lunenburg. I don't know why I said Lawrencetown. My fellow Nova Scotians, perhaps Lawrencetown is important. I'll write that show down too, so you guys have that. I've only ever seen the first season too. I think I started to watch the second season and I just wasn't as into it. Thank you for the subscription. Also, why am I seeing like blocks? Which is making me think of like building blocks. And then this is making me think of like a wind catcher or a sun catcher. Maybe even a dream catcher. There could be something correlating towards that as well. Especially if you guys have been having like nightmares lately. If you've been having bad dreams. If you've been, you know, seeing things in your dream space that freak you out. There could be something correlating towards needing to like up your protection in your dream realm. I don't know. Take that how it resonates. And what I mean by up your protection is quite literally like maybe you do need a dream catcher or something along those lines. All right, what deck are we using today? This one. Something about the age of 31. So some of you could be turning 31 this year. Maybe you are 31. Take that how it resonates. What is this mystery energy spirit? That's way too many. But I like that. Interesting. Protection. What is this about for the collective? Interesting. And intuition. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm immediately picking up on this energy that this collective needs to trust what their intuition is trying to tell them. So you could be being guided towards some sort of truth that you already know is real, but there is a part of you that is not either trusting in that or you're not recognizing that truth. Also, something about Israel could be important for someone here. I mean, it's 11:11 a.m. where I live. Immediately off the bat, so like I asked for clarifying cards for these, okay? So this one is that mystery once again. Immediately I'm pulled to this heart here. So there's something surrounding your emotions that is unknown at this moment. There's something that you're not meant to quite see. For others of you, this has to do with your career. Others of you, this has to do with seduction. I don't know what that means. Take it how it resonates. And then I'm also seeing for a smaller group, this could actually have to do with your self-love. So like the way you see yourself, the way you perceive beauty could be a little bit of a mystery at this moment. Something about like Christmas time is going to bring this really into balance. It's interesting that I asked for clarification on the mystery energy and Spirit was just like, no, like this is a mystery. Some of you are kind of caught up in some sort of cycle of chasing is what I'm hearing, because you want to know the answers to things that you're ultimately just not meant to know quite yet, which I get. Okay, I get. But I feel like there's this aspect of you that needs to kind of take a step back and recognize that just because something's in front of you doesn't mean you need it. Very specific. Okay. That could even have to do with like a product or something. Like perhaps some of you are seeing things and you're like, oh, I want that. Like I don't know. Let's say you're at like Winners or HomeSense or, you know, somewhere like that. And you see this like random home decor piece and you're like, oh, I want that real bad. I'm going to buy it. Spirit's saying you don't need it. Okay. You don't need all of these things. Some of you could be working through recognizing the difference between a need and a want. Recognizing when you truly want something versus when you actually need it to sustain yourself or live comfortably. Some of you could have been focused on your finances in the last couple of months. Excuse me, confirmation. And again, something about Christmas is going to be really like shifting is what they just showed me. I don't know what that means, but okay. Something about like traditionally speaking, the Seven of Cups to me is like all that glitters isn't gold energy. It's being caught up in the illusions versus the reality. And I feel like some of you might need to kind of take a step back and like ground yourself back to earth. So recognize what is fantasy and what is fact. What is an illusion in your mind and what is a reality that you're experiencing. And the more you kind of take that step back and you recognize what has been blocking you from seeing yourself and seeing your path, you'll be able to kind of move into a newfound potential, move into a newfound energy. You're going to start attracting a lot of positive shifts towards you. I'm hearing a lot of abundance is coming if you would just take time to allow it. I'm also seeing something about, what is that song? Keep an eye out for the snakes. 'Cause I don't need no frauds. I don't need no drama when you call. I think it's called No Frauds by Miss Minaj. It is. I feel like I need to play that. I didn't even know there was a music video for this. Did y'all know that? Some of you should go watch it. Okay. The outfits in this are kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah, go listen to this, y'all. There could also be something about like Europe. I'm seeing like Rome or somewhere in Britain. This is so random. Where where was like Jack the Ripper? Whitechapel High Street. It's in the UK somewhere for sure, but I was kind of wondering what part of the UK. London. So there's something about London and maybe even Jack the Ripper. I don't know, but something about that seems important. I have no idea, babies. Um, Maybe some of you are going to have an opportunity to travel abroad, to travel to the UK, to travel to London. Maybe you're going to have the ability to like go somewhere. I'm seeing like an outside the box moment. So, like somewhere you've never been able to go before, somewhere new and exciting is also what I'm hearing. Like the Seven of Cups traditionally is about a lot of opportunity. It's about a lot of options that are coming towards you. And while some of them are definitely caught up in fantasy and illusion, that doesn't mean they all are. This is about kind of taking a step back and acknowledging where your imagination is pulling you towards ego based thinking and where the reality is in front of you. So I feel like for some of you, part of this mystery that's being built actually correlates towards travel. And now they're showing me an airplane in my mind's eye. So, like, definitely some sort of like world travel energy. Something about like going somewhere new. I'm hearing like new experiences incoming. I don't know why I just heard new experience unlocked. Take that however it resonates. Yeah. Also, something about the moon's energy could be important. So, some of you could be getting more connected to the moon. Specifically, I am seeing like new moon being important, but like any moon phase that's significant to you aligns to you. Remember, these are collective, okay? Um, so our next new moon would be, which just made me think of Twilight, ugh, but okay. It is on the 15th, so it's this coming Monday, okay? So there could be something about utilizing the energy of the new moon. New moons are really good for manifestation. So if there is something that you want to call into your life right now, utilizing that energy from it might actually be beneficial for you. Also, this particular, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the deck that we're using today, but this is the Modern Witches Tarot. And in this particular deck, there's two versions of the Ten of Swords. So we have, the traditional Ten of Swords, and then we have the Everything is Fine. Confirmation. Something about your menstrual cycle for my traditional women. There could be something about your period showing up unexpectedly. Maybe it's late. Others of you, it's a lot heavier than normal. I'm seeing like really bad period cramps for someone. Anyway, take it how it resonates. But what's really intriguing to me is you have this Everything is Fine going on top of the protection card. I honestly feel like Spirit's kind of trying to gently tell this collective that whatever fears you have in your mind surrounding your protection, surrounding your, spirituality, surrounding the energy being thrown at you, whatever, you need to recognize that you are safer than I think you allow yourself to realize. I also feel really called to mention some of you need to stop doom scrolling. Some of you need to put your phone down. You need to kind of like, I'm literally seeing some of you take your phone and put it in a drawer and like just be in your present and in your life. It could be time for you to disconnect from the outside world, social media, whatever. The texts are going to be there when you come back to it. People that love you are not going to be upset by this. That's my doorbell. Please hold. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be right back, okay? The way you're all still here is like the sweetest thing ever. Winded. Whew. I have like 3-4 flights of stairs that I have to go up and down when I want to go to my front door. Whew. Anyway, this is going to be a shorter reading today because I do have a technician in my house. And I don't know if they'll need me. So I'm going to finish what we're reading into now. We'll tap into more energy. And then we will stop. We did had a little break. It was like a scheduled break programming, if you will. It is a workout. There's like literally 1, 2, 3 or 4 flights of stairs. I don't know. And they're like this. Moving in here sucked. So yeah, we were talking about how some of y'all need to kind of put your phone down, take a little bit of a breather, take a little break ski is what I just heard. There's also something really symbolic about all these swords in her back for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm being really pulled to that. And then again, I'm going to advise that you guys literally take a little bit of a breather from doom scrolling. My fellow content creators, you need to take a break from posting content. You just need a little bit of a rest period. They're showing me like an incubation. What's interesting too is we have the Knight of Swords following it, and this is on top of intuition, okay? So first thing I want to mention, you can feel someone coming towards you. Someone in a very energy. And what's interesting, I can't show y'all, but like how it's laid out on the table is the Knight of Swords is literally facing that everything is fine card. So somebody is definitely charging towards you like full speed ahead is what I'm hearing, which just made me think like to infinity and beyond. Something about Toy Story could be important. We are like going into Mercury retrograde soon. So I do kind of feel like someone from your past is going to circle the block this Mercury retrograde. This is someone who is very wishy-washy. I just heard their name could start with a C, the letter C. So like captain, if you will. That's not their name. It could be their nickname. But yeah, their name could start with the letter C. But I feel like this person has been very in and out of your life. They've been like very inconsistent. And it's interesting because if you look at this like image, there's like determination. I know it's hard to see, the lighting is trash, but there's like a determination in this person's energy to like change the past. This person fumbled. They know they fumbled. That's how you know you fucked up. Fuck, I haven't heard that in forever. Is this it? God, I haven't heard this in forever. Just got your key. That's how you know you fucked up. Anyway, that song could be important. This person is realizing they fumbled. I'm telling you, this person is like, I fucked up. I lost something genuine. I lost something real. Which is why I feel like they have this like determination in their energy. It's also kind of intriguing to me that I'm hearing like knight in shining armor kind of vibes, and like he's riding a white horse, which just immediately made me think of that song by Taylor Swift. So just because this person charges back in with this kind of a momentum and energy doesn't necessarily mean they deserve another chance at your love or anything for that matter. Especially because they are still showing up as a knight. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard me say this before, but like Knights in tarot are depicted as the ages of 12 to 18. So that's immature. Okay? This person's still not mentally on your level. They're not on your frequency. There's also something about this visual on the Six of Cups where like the older woman is handing the younger kid something. This is you and your inner child. You have handed the little version of you some sort of like overflow of love. I don't know how else to explain this, but that cup is really giving me like security, confidence, groundedness, worthiness. It's like you have handed your little self the keys to success. Let's get one more here. And this is why. Because you've trusted yourself. You've recognized what is for you and what isn't. So I feel like when this person pops up, it's going to be a bit of a test of your faith to see, are you going to fall back into the same old pattern, same routine? But your temper's just as bad as mine is. I've been channeling that so much lately. There's also some sort of like, do y'all notice that I'm really calm right now? There's some sort of like serenity here. So like even though this might be a bit of a chaotic jolt, even though it might kind of trigger you briefly, some of you it might dysregulate your nervous system very, very quickly. Even though that might happen, it won't like it'll be very short-lived. Because again, like I feel like something like your higher self, your current self, whatever, part of what that is that's being handed to the little version of you definitely correlates towards like a regulated nervous system. Some of you have been doing a lot of inner child healing, especially correlating to a period of trauma. I feel like this collective grew up in a really chaotic and toxic environment. You have real toxic parents is what I'm hearing. Relatable. But you're no longer allowing their toxicity, their emotional immaturity, your trauma from that period of your life to dictate your current reality, because you're recognizing that you're worthy of things that are for you and things that are aligned. And in order to attract that, you have to heal that, right? So I feel like this particular collective, some of y'all could have resonated with that video I shared about like getting to a point where you forgive your parents for what they put you through without holding on to resentment and anger anymore. Something about a crown. We have the Seven of Wands in reversed. And then we have that Ten of Swords making an appearance. Again, please put your phone down. And then the High Priestess as well. This is what I'm saying, like you already know what you need to do to work through whatever emotions are still there. To get to the root of the issue. Again, something about root work, I have no idea, babies. I think that came through on yesterday's reading. Anyone remembers, they could put it in the chat, but yeah, I think it was yesterday. I don't know why, but I read that as I consider myself as Harry Potter. Even though you didn't watch it. You should, it's great. The original, not the weird remake. So the Seven of Wands in a traditional sense, when it's in the reverse position, is a really big omen that a lot of y'all are tired. Like I'm hearing, I'm exhausted. I'm tired, Grandpa. But it's interesting because in this imagery, she's like really working, right? Like she's working hard to dig. She's working hard to overcome. Something about the skirt that she's wearing. Honestly, the whole fit could be important. But this is like a really big omen in the reverse that you're exhausted. You want to give up. You want to throw in the towel. You're overwhelmed, maybe with emotions, maybe with energy. But because it's going on top of that Six of Cups and the Hierophant, I do kind of feel like Spirit's actually trying to get you to acknowledge that this exhaustion, this overwhelmed feeling that you have, it's a part of the past version of you that tries to keep yourself safe through certain experiences. I don't know how to explain that, but that's so much confirmation in one sitting. There's like this version of the adult you, okay, that still carries on patterns and triggers and coping mechanisms from your childhood or your younger years, if you will. And whatever that is part of what keeps you so exhausted when you feel overwhelmed. So this collective needs to get better at recognizing when you're overstimulated, because that'll help you to kind of be able to be like, okay, I'm overstimulated right now. I need a break. I need to take a step back and go do XYZ. And a lot of that is actually going to help you in a spiritual way. It's going to help you to dig more into your spiritual truth and your practices and bring forward more momentum in a spiritual sense. Because that Hierophant is right underneath of it, right? All in all, I feel like this group needs to just be mindful for where you're at right now. Trust that where you're currently standing is where you're meant to be, and know that everything is working out the way that it's intended to. I just heard like God intended to. I'm also, because of the person in the chat, welcome, Gentle Monster. Your username immediately made me think of Lady Gaga and how she calls like her community of fans like little monsters. There could be something about that that's important. Maybe Lady Gaga is someone you looked up to when you were younger, especially if you are a part of the especially if you are a part of the gay community, okay? I can't talk today. I've had some real big throat chakra blockages for the last few days. It is Pride Month as well, so like there could be something correlating to Pride. I don't love how many people left the chat when I started talking about gay stuff. I don't love that. As a queer, I feel like we should all be inclusive with each other. I never understood the concept of homophobia because, like, who you choose to sleep with and get intimate with and get freaky with is literally none of my business. Unless we are sleeping together, it's not a concern of mine. I never got it. Happy Pride, everybody. Anyway. Crazy to watch tarot but be homophobic. I don't know, just me. Literally. It could have just been a coincidence that a bunch of people dropped out right as I started talking about being gay, but... What is that song? I was born this way. If it smells like a fart. I love Lady Gaga. She's my role model. She's incredible. I think that's it today, y'all. Actually, wait. Also, did you see my shirt? Hot girls read books. Can I ask you a question if you're okay with it? Absolutely. I mean, I can only answer it if it's not like a personal question correlating to something that you would need a reading for, but anything outside of that, for sure. I must not be a hot girl then. Your 6-month baby loves Lady Gaga. That's amazing. Maybe you just haven't found the right book that makes you enjoy reading. Yeah, a lot of y'all are being guided towards bringing back more playfulness in your life. Have more fun. Recapture romantic energy. Make an effort. I honestly feel like some of you need to get more connected to your inner child. We also have stay optimistic. This is about your love life, but I feel like in general, y'all need to be more optimistic, more open to the playfulness. Some of you definitely need to make effort in your daily life when it comes to connections, when it comes to friendships. We also have trust. The situation is requiring you to have faith. And then we have keep an open mind. One second, I dropped one. And then we also have worth waiting for. So the keep an open mind coming out with the worth waiting for and the trust aspect, I really do feel like a lot of you are actually being guided towards a reflection period right now, correlating towards connections, okay? Because the keep an open mind is an omen that Spirit's actually encouraging you to have a little bit more of an open mind when it comes to your romantic relationships and recognize that your usual type might not actually be right for you. This literally says your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And then you also have the unrequited love at the bottom of the deck here. I feel like a lot of you, and then release your ex underneath of that. A lot of you have been stuck in a bit of a pattern with people that are players, with people that are that Knight of Swords energy from the tarot portion, where they come in really quickly. It's hot and heavy. There's a lot of intensity in the beginning, but it fizzles out really fast because ultimately lust-based relationships don't go the distance. There's never enough attraction and chemistry that actually can make the relationship evolve. And I feel like a lot of you need to have trust and understand that just because it feels right doesn't mean it is right. Some of you need to dig a little bit deeper into what your old type was and recognize that pattern of unrequited love so that you stop repeating the same pattern. Again, same old pattern, same routine, but your temper's just as bad as mine is. And I feel like a lot of you, the more you kind of come to terms with this truth, the more you're going to be able to recognize not only is the love that you desire worth waiting for, but when you kind of step outside of that box that you create for yourself when it comes to your type, you actually attract something that's better for you. Lived experience, okay? My old type almost always brought me to my knees emotionally because it was always unrequited. I was always giving more than I was receiving, and that is something that took me a really long time to learn. And I feel like that's part of what this collective needs to kind of go through. You need to acknowledge that what you've invested into is not worth it in the long run, in your past at least. Anyway, y'all, I hope that helps whoever it was meant for. You can't then? Are you referencing the question? I mean, you can ask it, and if it's something that I can't answer because it would require a personal reading, I can tell you. That was really vulnerable. It happens. I'm going to force y'all to become the most vulnerable versions of yourselves, which is scary, but it's also healing. Let there be light. I appreciate that always. Maybe I should have kept that open for this. Whoops. The most vulnerable, but the best versions of ourselves. Exactly. Vulnerability is sexy. Vulnerability is a good thing, but society convinces us that it isn't. Anyway, y'all, do we have any questions today? I know this is a bit of a shorter stream, but I'm not entirely sure if there's still someone in my house. I'm in a rental too. It makes me nervous. So I'm going to assume nobody has any questions. I'm going to end the stream now. I do apologize that we're ending 20 minutes early. I will be live again on Thursday for those of you that would like to join for another collective reading. So it'll be Thursday. I think that's like the 11th. If y'all want to hop on then. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day.